This is to the man full of hate who just messaged me, and anybody else who does the same. My name's Poppy, if we've not met. I'm a psychologist, psychotherapist, coach. I work for 30 years globally with all different kinds of people, and I teach self-mastery. How you master what you think, what you feel, and what you do, so you can have a life of thriving and put good into the world doing it. I'm unaffiliated, I work for you. Take what you want, leave what you don't. When you hate, when you attack, when you want to dismiss, to publicly shame, to recruit people to give someone else the message they're bad and they're wrong because they're not you, it's pain talking. What happens in my 3 decades of experience of working with people who are hurt and wanting, though, to do better and be better and have more and have better, is someone somewhere along the way gave you the idea, obviously very loudly, that there's one way to be in life, that it has to be that everyone does it your way. Everyone thinks like you, bees like you, does like you, and if not, that we're fair game for attack. And what it actually is, apart from pain and ego, it's all ego fear stuff. And this is not an attack on you, it's a reflection of what I know as a clinician. What it says is that there's very little strength, psychological strength in you to tolerate anything other than what's familiar to you. So when you see things, behaviours and people and so on, and you form your own view of that, your own judgment of that, it's coming from a place where you have enormous insecurity that you simply cannot fathom, contain, abide by other people's difference. What that says is it's a backward compliment when you act out and you discharge, you leak in the way that you're doing. It's a backward compliment to the people that you attack. And I'm not being funny, I'm being pro you, actually. If you'll listen, if you are interested in happiness, is what you're saying to me and other people like me is that we are doing, or at least in your mind can see that we're doing something you cannot or will not do, which is to deviate from the norms that you've been groomed into. Something about my way of being and your association with it, my vulnerability and your association with it is bad and wrong in you. Therefore, when you see it in me, you want to cut it off, kill it off, cancel it, and so on. What that tells me about you and your history is someone was very hating and shutting down of you, that you weren't asked about you. You weren't encouraged to develop who you are. There wasn't very much, if any, tenderness and health in the person raising you or people raising you. It was their way or no way. So you cut bits off of yourself and now are a skeletal version of the real you because you were so threatened by someone else's sickness. And I'm genuinely sorry for that because I know how much it hurts. At some point, if you choose, you can allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to know that you are worthy of happiness. Because I tell you what's going on in your head right now. Very disturbed, long-winded stories in your head about how everything else is wrong, a disappointment, disgusting, disgraceful, abominable, shouldn't be that way. You're tantruming as a very, very wounded child. Good for you to tantrum against life that doesn't seem okay. The way you're doing it, I don't recommend, apart from the collateral damage, the impact on your health suppresses immunity to be that stressed, that stacked, that triggered, that traumatized, that enraged is not good for your body. You're a living, breathing organism and you need good, positive influences to thrive. At the moment, you are in control of what you're thinking about, whether you know it or not. And unfortunately, we're not taught this in schools. that you actually have autonomy over what's going on in your head. At the moment, you're just in fear and reactivity. You're not connected to who you are, your heart, your soul, your being. You're just connected to a fear response where you're constantly in a state of fight and flight. And sometimes I imagine freeze, depending on the behaviours that you have outside of your hating comments online and so on. When you go to bed at night, those thoughts and those feelings are going to be, apart from murderous, because that's what, and I don't mean literally, although that too sometimes, is wanting to kill off things that don't resonate with what you feel is the right way to do life. So when you're putting your head down on the pillow, that's disturbed thoughts. It's not going to be about how you're proud of you and how you feel good about certain things that you've done that day and feel good about how people have been with you. It's going to be all the opposite of that. What you're dreaming about, your unconscious, you won't be listening to because you're very stacked. You're probably not remembering your dreams and the messages in your dreams. Your association and your currency for relationships is trauma, hate, disdain, judgment, oppression, and all the things. So again, when you see me or someone else doing whatever and you attack us for it, or you send hate and hateful thoughts, it's a compliment. Because something you're seeing you cannot do for you. Some kind of freedom, some kind of difference, some kind of deviation from the oppressive stuckness and challenging that you had. You're wrong, you're bad, you have to X, Y, and Z it. So in you, like in any of us, in my view, is a beautiful, real, hurting person, human, and all of your divinity and wisdom and brilliance that you get to cause and create in this world, if and when you choose to access that part of you. Unfortunately, there won't be many people in your life who challenge you with you and your behaviour because you very much intimidate a lot of people, and they will have across time in some kind of way colluded with you. So again, the currency is misery and hate and so on. The healthy people who are full of love probably have given up on you, no disrespect, because it's exhausting, oppressive and draining. And like attracts like, so you'll attract the kinds of energies that you have for the most part, most crucially and long term, because we attract what we are. So unfortunately, the people who can love on you and help you heal and grow and come out and be you will have run out of emotional bandwidth for that. So everybody again is a disappointment. And those people who really would like to love you, you can't see them. Imagine you see them as weak or less than or whatever it is because you don't love you. You won't allow love. So you're perpetually recycling the cycles that you've been in before where people are not X, Y, and Z that you want them to be. So you can't even see me or other people because there's a triangle of conflict between us where you're judging me and you're assuming I would judge you and you're judging you. You judge me, you judge you, and you think I'm judging you. All of which is your stuff. So I'm pro you, and at some point if you choose, maybe you'll see this, maybe you won't. At some point I'm pro you breaking through whatever oppressive dictatorship that's in your heart still, so that you get to be free and you get to be you. Whatever has been done to you, the behaviours of other people that gave you the messages, the very powerful ones that's still in your heart and breathing blood and hatred into the world. You know, you're bleeding on people who haven't hurt you. I forget who said that, sorry. That's part of the warmongering, as I often say. The wars are happening because of the hate in your heart and in your mind. What's inside of us is created outside of us, as within, so without, as above, so below. In my very informed clinical view, there's a healthy part of you, a healthy adult part of you, that if and when you choose, you can turn your inquiry on yourself and ask yourself, what did it feel like to be on the receiving end of these people who it wasn't personal the way they were being with you, they were disturbed, shut down and so on, and they can only love you to the degree to which they loved themselves. It's not personal. It wasn't a personal attack on you. They only had X, Y, and Z to be able to communicate. You did nothing wrong. You were never bad. You were never wrong. You were different. So I'm saying to you the thing probably you couldn't say to them, which is no. No. You don't get to hate on me because you don't know how to love you. That's your stuff, and I'll just reflect it back. I know how it is. I hated me too at some points. You get to be free if and when you choose. Take ownership of your thoughts and the fact that you can change them at any time you choose, to change your whole personality. Not because you're wrong, because you're unhappy and you're making yourself sick and you're breeding unhealth into the world. And I'm not in any way saying go. I'm saying evolve. You get to, in this second phase of your life, befriend yourself, take care of yourself, listen to yourself and the messages that you had that you couldn't for whatever reason speak into, that were true and authentic and free. It wasn't safe to do so, otherwise in some kind of way you'd have broken out and done it. In the meantime, I will hold the hope that you, like me, can evolve into a version of you that says, I get to be me without judgment. So that everything that you use as a trigger throughout your day is about looking for reasons to be offended because other people aren't in whatever way like you. So what you're doing to me and other people when you reach out in the way you do, you're doing to us what's been done to you. You're perpetuating a cycle that is hating and oppressive. And you will never be free of that until you decide to come to your aid and hear what's inside of you that's true, that's real and pure. You get to be free. And it's your choice and it's your call at whatever stage you choose to do it differently. And actually, if you do, and I'm free, physically free in my diary, I would open arms to you to say, oh, of course, I will do my best to create space for us to look at this. And I'll be with you through the pain. I'll be with you through the difficulty. And I'll be with you through the catharsis where you break free and have a happy life where you know that you're worthy of pain, of good love. Good love. You're worthy of the pain, I said. And I mean that too. You're worthy of feeling the feelings that you couldn't have for whatever reason before now. You're worthy of thriving and you're very able, and I'll do my best to be present to you whilst you do it. So you're forgiven. Of course you're forgiven. Everything is forgivable. We're not bad people. We sometimes do bad things. And if you choose to forgive yourself and forgive the people who've hurt you, then power to you and your elbow. Sending love through the hate. You get to have it. You deserve it just as much as me and everybody else. And the reason I say this is, one, pro you, because you couldn't say this to the people who hurt you. And equally, there will be a lot of people in your life and mine and globally who aren't able to meet you with you because it's triggering them to such a degree that they then become you. And they shut down and they hate and they go quiet, or they get mentally ill, or they suffer, or God forbid, worse. You get to exist too. There's room for all of us. Sending enormous love. Until we meet again, I'm sending enormous love. And I'm sure once we do meet again, I'll be sending love to you then. It's not personal to me what you're doing. And it wasn't personal to you what others did to you. Or for you, if you choose to release the victim mentality, poor me, everyone should be like me. That's a victim way of being in the world. And I get it, because actually you were victim. However, whether or not you choose to be so now is on you. So I'll help if you want my help. Big love.